In my humble opinion, axes are for losers. Maybe only if you're a loser that hasn't built a wood farm yet. If you're one of those people, don't worry about it, because I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own beautiful wood farm, designed by you, and easily manipulated by you. Let's go! The farm I have behind me is my very own design, and I'll be showing you how each isolated part of this farm works and how it interacts with the other parts to make a functional farm. Now the way this farm works is actually pretty simple. The tree grows up, its leaves are broken, it's then pushed over here, where it's pushed once again, so it can be blown up by this TNT duper that's timed to explode right around here. The farm also uses these hoppers to filter out the saplings and dispense them into your inventory so you can continue using the farm fully AFK. So let's get straight into it. What I just built for you is the initial part of the farm, the part that pushes the tree after it's fully grown. But what I really want to do is isolate these two contraptions that are a part of that. The first circuit I want to show you uses this comparator and this observer. This comparator can tell when a tree is fully grown and sends a redstone output, which is seen by the observer. The observer then tells the pistons to fire and push the tree away to create more space for another sapling to be grown. Now if you think about it long enough, you're going to realize that the observer is going to send two redstone outputs. And you might be thinking, well, why would that be? And I'll explain it later, because it's actually very important. The second one you might know already. It's an observer clock that's just constantly sending out redstone pulses. And as you can see, it's working fantastic. But it's also a little bit annoying. So all you have to do is much better. I also just want to quickly mention the importance of this block and the height of these pistons. This block limits the height the tree can grow to, and if you don't have it, the trees can start growing super tall, which might seem very appealing at the beginning, but you get trees with branches like this one, and it can mess up and break the farm, affecting the productivity. The leaf breaker uses the same idea as the first piston pusher I showed you. The only difference being the log and the target block. While the target block is important, its only functional value is to attract the redstone dust to power itself and therefore power the pistons. The logs, however, are really only here for the flow of the farm. And by that, I mean the way it moves and looks. Like I mentioned earlier, the first contraption sends two pulses. The first being when the comparator turns on after the tree grows, and the second being when the tree is pushed and the comparator turns off. If you didn't see it well enough there, the pistons extend once, leaving the logs out, and twice, taking them back. Now you don't actually need the logs. The farm will work perfectly fine, assuming you just replace the sticky pistons with normal pistons so you don't take the logs back with them. But let me just show you here. If I do that, the tree is grown, I can cut it, and they'll just go like this. You can see, oh, I just got a sapling. But all the leaves are gone. It's really no issue. I just like the way the logs look. Now to show this all together, I'm just taking the original redstone output from the first observer, sending it straight into this leaf breaker, and then using the same redstone line as that first piston pusher and sending it into the other leaf breaker. This second piston pusher uses the same concepts as the first two parts I showed you. However, it might even be more simple. Instead of the observer being powered by a comparator, it's actually powered by this redstone torch, powering this redstone dust. To show it on a smaller scale, you can see the redstone torch is powering this log, which is powering this redstone dust, and I can turn it off just by going like that. Now the reason this part doesn't get two pulses like the other parts have is because the piston will push away the log fast enough so this only sends a one-tick pulse, not leaving enough time for the observer to send two pulses. Also, you can totally make this taller or wider. You just have to remember if you're going to make it wider, you have to put these target blocks in between these half slabs and pistons. To show you this in a farm, you can see where the logs are getting pushed to over here and how they're all pushed at once. So I figured the sapling sorting system would be easiest to show you in an already built farm. So as you can see, I've just placed hoppers right under these leaf breakers. They all go down to one singular hopper, which either sorts out the saplings like this, or sends the rest of the items into this large chest. This is what the sorting system looks like. I'm not going to go too much in depth on how it works, but basically you just put the item you want to sort in the first slot, and then one of any other item in the other slots, and it'll sort it out for you. So after the saplings are sorted, they're sent down into this dropper right over here. The droppers can send items up through themselves and go straight into your inventory. They're powered by the original observer, and it can either climb down or you can use a sticky piston and redstone block like I did. Interestingly enough, you only actually need to power this middle redstone block to get all three of them working. So to show you it in action, if I just turn it on, you'll see I get a sapling out of it, turn it off, I get another sapling out of it. So I just built a really basic TNT duper for you. It's a little bit complicated because you have to get it right when you're building it, but it's really just 3 of these blocks, 3 more slime blocks, a coral fan here, a wall over here, the TNT must start right there, and then a minecart on a detector rail. You can also add this block right up here to stabilize the minecart if you want, and then these blocks down here just make sure the TNT stay in one spot the entire time. So like I've been doing with the other components, I'm going to show this off in the farm I built. So to start, the power for this TNT is coming from this leaf breaker and climbing up a redstone torch tower. Once it gets up here, it does 2 things. 1, it duplicates the TNT and has it starting to explode, and 2, it sends a redstone signal through these comparators to time this gate opening so the TNT will fall and explode. So to show you how it works. The very last thing I want to mention is the use of non-explodable blocks or obsidian. If you're making a really compact design, just make sure you're protecting all your redstone with something like that so you don't mess up all your work. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, click that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time.